This vintage bunk bed playroom is coming together, but we're missing one thing, some vintage chalkboards. I started with a piece of pre-cut plywood that was 4 foot by 4 foot and 1/4 inch thick. Then I had this chalkboard paint tinted courtyard green, which really needs to be renamed perfect vintage chalkboard green. Next, I cut pieces of 1 by 2 for my frame. I did miter cuts on each end. This frame will sit on top of the chalkboard. Right before my fingers fell off, I finished sanding all of the pieces. Why is it so cold already? Then I brought the pieces inside and stained them with a hickory gel stain. This is my favorite gel stain color. It's so rich and warm. After everything was dry, I attached the frame to the chalkboard using adhesive and also finishing nails. Then I brought it upstairs and realized one problem. This giant chalkboard frame was going to cause an issue hanging with that beadboard ledge we added. You would think I would have thought that through earlier, but nope, back to the drawing board. So I used a circular saw to cut down the giant chalkboard into smaller, more manageable pieces. They were all different sizes, which I think add a fun, eclectic look. I reattached the frames with adhesive and finishing nails, and this is what I ended up with. To attach the smaller frames to the wall, I was able to use these sawtooth hangers and simply nail them to the back of the chalkboards. Definitely use pliers to hold the tiny nails as you nail them in, trust me. Finally, I laid out all the chalkboards in front of the wall so I could get a good idea of how I wanted the gallery to sit. Then I used screws to attach them to the wall. Doing it this way actually ended up being so much better because now I can simply remove the chalkboards from the wall and then the kids can use them and draw on them. And when they're not in use, they can be a really cool and fun gallery wall. I really love how this DIY chalkboard wall turned out. The last piece of this room is just assembling the bookcase, and then we'll be ready for a full reveal. Follow along as we finally wrap up this vintage bunk bed playroom.